it's Emma and I'm back with another astrology video, and in today's video I'm going to be carrying on with my Lilith series. And in the last video I did an overview on Lilith. I explained what she represents in astrology, what she represents in the birth chart and synastry and composite charts between two people. But in today's video I'm going to give you an example of how this really plays out in real life, these Lilith themed relationships. Specifically, I'll be talking about Marilyn Monroe's chart because she has Lilith right on the ascendant and is a great example of this Lilith energy. And I'll be talking about her relationship with JFK because in the synastry and composite chart, they have strong Lilith aspects that explains the passionate, intense, and secret relationship that they had. So make sure if you haven't watched my other video, go watch that first and then come back here and let's get started. When talking about a Lilith type of woman, Marilyn Monroe is an excellent example because she has a Lilith right on her ascendant in Leo. So Lilith is very much showing up in her appearance, how she showed up in the world and how she was seen by other people, because your ascendant is your physical body, how you're showing up, how you present yourself, your image. And not only that, she also had Neptune there as well. So Neptune definitely added to her overall beauty and gave her more of that feminine, softer energy, but also having Lilith there as well. She had this sexual magnetism. She would just draw men in, and really without having to try that much. That is the energy of Lilith, just having this sexual energy and not needing to try. A lot of women who have strong Lilith on the ascendant, they just exude this sexual energy. They don't have to try to do anything. They just have it and it draws men in. And it can also make women jealous, and it can make women envy them. And also Lilith can present itself in a more bitchy way because it's the shadow side of the moon. It's very much about being strong, being a strong, independent woman, demanding power and respect. So a lot of times also when there's Lilith on the ascendant, that can give off almost like a bitchy feeling, and it's not even necessarily how the person actually is. It's just the energy that is instantly felt from Lilith. And in Marilyn Monroe's case, I think that the Neptune helped to soften that a lot, but definitely in terms of the sexual energy, she was a major sex symbol, and this was really felt in a large way, and it really drew people in, and that is something that she's known as. Now, another thing with this is a lot of the times when women have a lot of Lilith in their chart, and especially Lilith on the ascendant like Marilyn does here, is they tend to get overlooked in terms of intelligence and their personality on a deeper level, beyond just how they're physically showing up and their physical beauty and appeal. And that was very much the case with Marilyn, having not only Lilith on her ascendant, but Neptune too, her having all of this beauty and the sex appeal. But she likely was very intelligent because she has a Gemini sun and Gemini Mercury. She probably had a lot of interesting things to say and share, but that likely was very much overlooked because of all of that physical attraction and that pull from Lilith. Now, in terms of her relationship with JFK, this is the epitome of a Lilith-themed relationship. And Lilith relationships are ones that have a lot of aspects in the synastry or the composite chart between two people, specifically hard aspects, so those squares, oppositions, conjunctions. this is going to feel very strongly like a Lilith relationship. And typically these relationships are ones that are affairs, started as affairs, or there is this element of secrecy where the relationship is hidden for whatever reason, which is very much the case with the two of them. It was a relationship that was an affair, and this can definitely be seen through aspects in their Sinistry when I pulled it up, and their composite chart. So in the Sinistry, we see that they both have their Lilith in the sign of Leo, and specifically his Lilith is forming an opposition to her moon in Aquarius. So this alone is going to be a strong pull. You want to look for connections that are happening to personal planets from Lilith. So the outer planets, that's not going to be felt really as much. The inner planets, that is going to be felt a lot, and the moon a lot. So this alone, this one aspect, is a strong pull. Now to add on to this, we see that her Lilith in Leo is squaring his Mars in Taurus. So this is a hot one as well, because Mars is about passion, intensity, and someone's drive. And it also has a lot of this sexual energy in itself. So having her Lilith squaring in that square challenging aspect, it's going to create this friction, and that is going to be very intense. And then we also see that her Lilith is squaring his Mercury and Jupiter as well in Taurus, but in a looser conjunction there. Now, when we're looking at the composite chart of the two of them, we also see Lilith themes there. So the Sinistry chart is a chart where you layer two people's natal charts on top of each other, and you see how their individual planets are connecting with each other, therefore how they came together in the first place, and what draws them together. Now, the composite chart is a separate third chart, and it takes the midpoints between both people's charts, and this is known as the chart of the relationship. So the composite chart is really great for determining overall themes that are seen in a relationship, dynamics that end up playing out in the relationship. So the composite chart is really how the aspects from the Sinistry play out in real life. Now, when we're looking at their composite chart, we see that the composite Lilith is conjunct Neptune in the 12th house. So we already know what Lilith is. Neptune is this planet of fantasy, illusion, escapism, projecting a fantasy. And the 12th house that this is happening in is the most private house. The 12th house is all things hidden, escapism, and it takes on a lot of that energy of Neptune. So a lot of the time we see people who have a relationship that is an affair, we see 12th house themes there as well, because the 12th house is the most private and hidden house. So it's interesting that this Lilith-Neptune conjunction in the composite chart for them is happening in the 12th house. And we see that this conjunction with Lilith and Neptune is squaring the composite Venus. And Venus is the planet of love, how we express love and our love language. So this square aspect is going to create this friction between Lilith and Venus, creating a lot of passion. And this is strongly showing up as this strong pull in this theme from Lilith. So this passion, this intensity, this physical relationship that has been hidden. Now, another thing that's really interesting here is the composite sun is conjunct the composite midheaven. So the sun represents how you want to shine, how you want to show up in the world. So in the composite chart, this is how the couple wants to show up and how they are showing up. And the midheaven is how the public perceives them, so their public image together. So it is interesting that they want to keep all of this hidden. There is this element of secrecy, this theme of that in the composite chart. However, since the sun is right there with the midheaven, this will be clearly shown for everyone else, and it will be visible for the public to see what's going on here that they want to keep hidden but won't be. So that's the basics between their charts. There's a lot more that I could go over, but in terms of Lilith, that I think is just a great example to show. This usually happens when one or both people have strong Lilith aspects in their own natal chart. So they end up subconsciously attracting these types of relationships. And this will be shown and be seen through the Sinistry and Composite Chart. So I use this as an example because I honestly never looked at JFK's natal chart before. I knew that Marilyn had Lilith on her ascendant, but a friend brought it up to me to check to see if there are Lilith aspects with their relationship, because their relationship was one of a sexual relationship and it was hidden, it was an affair. So I went to look and this is what I found. So it's a great example. So leave a comment down below if you would like to see more videos from me about Lilith, if you want me to do more on this series, going over different aspects and how they would play out in a relationship, or if you want me to do more about Lilith in the natal chart, I could maybe do a series on that. Comment down below what you think and suggestions that you have. I hope that this helped to explain it in a very real world way with this example, so it can be easier to understand how this actually plays out between two people. I want to thank you for coming to this video, for watching till the end, and I hope to see you in my next video.